Hey, this is Heidi Lynch.
And I'm Perry Voss. And this is Avocado Toast, the series podcast.
Our web series was inspired by our real life experiences,
The great ones
and the heartbreaking ones. And our podcast series is inspired by the community around us, the people we collaborate with, the people who lift us up, the people who listen when things aren't going so well and celebrate when things are.
And in our podcast, we wanted to reach out and chat with other artists and creators to find out what makes them tick, what inspires them,
what drives them,
what brings them joy.
We hope that they inspire you as much as they inspired us.
Enjoy. Today, Heidi chats with actress Maika Harper.
We're here today with Maika Harper, writer and actor for theater and film and TV. You might know her from Mohawk Girls, Kim's Convenience, Burden of Truth, The Education of Frederick Fitzel, or Avocado Toast Season 2 coming at ya. Not confirmed.
Ayo.
We'll get there. My fingers are crossed so hard they're bleeding.
Love it.
Maika, we met at theater school, the University of Windsor, Bachelor of Fine Arts.
We did.
We didn't talk a lot at school. We knew of each other, but we were in different years.
I think there's evidence of us at parties.
I'm sure.
I don't think we actually spoke, but we were at those parties together.
We were. And now we're drinking cider and beer and talking and friends now. So that means more. Friends post theater school means more. Me too. That's good mugs.
I've winded.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I had just an observation I've been wanting to share with one of my interviewees. And it's just not come up, but I wanted to share it with you because we were just having a previous conversation about the joys of multitasking. And I do mean joy sincerely. Being a mother and working in the film industry seems really unforgiving for a lot of women that I know that are doing it. It is intense. The industry is not conducive to being a mother and working. I was watching a documentary that was about female directors, and Joey Soloway, who directed Transparent and many other things, they said something that was so interesting to me. They were talking about directors, but they just said that it's such a shame that this full cross section of people, mothers, are shut out from being directors. And then they said, think of the empathy, the deep knowledge you gain from the human existence when you're a mother, and how that is not reflected in our film and television. And then they said, imagine the empathy the world would have if we could better that, make that better. And that just sort of rocked my world.
That's pretty wild. It's amazing to think about that somebody's thought that in depth, because realistically, when you look at the industry, not only do we barely even qualify for maternity leave, which is kind of a big thing for mothers.
Yeah.
A lot of people are kind of forced into different careers because of that, especially when you become a mother. And so a lot of different careers have a lot of things in place, and they kind of celebrate motherhood, whereas with this industry, it's really, really difficult. It's already really difficult as just a normal person, because normally you're juggling a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But to do that as a working mother is also extremely difficult. So you don't get maternity leave. You don't get that time off. I knew of a certain person that actually filmed 5 weeks after giving birth.
Wow.
And I mean, her birth, everybody's birth is so much different.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine having a really big surgery. And she really did. I had a difficult birth, but a pretty easygoing one, I would say.
Mhm.
and with my first one. And that being said, I kind of feel like after 5 weeks, I couldn't even really walk still.
Mhm.
Some people can walk. There was a lady that was talking to me, kind of mommy shaming, telling me that she was able to do like a marathon. She did half a marathon, 22K. Um, and I honestly, I didn't know how to feel about that, but everybody heals and does everything differently. And then to think about work on top of that is
Yeah.
crazy. So we don't have the assurances that a lot of careers have, I guess. So it's
No.
wild.
And
Yeah.
like you don't need to say the show or anything, but I have like a recent memory. It was around the avocado toasty time. I think you had booked something else, or it was earlier in your pregnancy. You had booked
Yeah.
something else and then the job was taken away because they weren't willing to work around a tiny pregnancy bump or
Yeah, and it was quite a lot, and you could actually see the difference between female directors or female kind of led productions to
yeah.
male led productions, because there's a lot of empathy towards being somebody that looks after, other people,
Yeah.
and that has a whole other life on top of that. So when you're filming, it's a lot on top of that. You're filming so many hours a day, and then on top of that, when you have downtime, you're just still thinking about that day or the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah.
So I think when you have little ones on top of that, to make sure that you have childcare in place is really important,
Yeah.
because already, generally, the general public anyway, they don't really make that much.
No.
You're already making so many other sacrifices to be able to do what you think is, your passion, your dream, your love, your
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know?
Totally. And I know it didn't work out for avocado toast season 1, which was so disappointing.
Yeah,
Because you had been so supportive and incredible and lovely for our entire, like, 3
funny.
years journey.
Yes.
Mickey played Rosie in the trailer we shot, and we had written the part for her, and then when Mickey was pregnant, we wrote her pregnant, and but I honestly, like, I thank you because you're the first actress that I'd ever been a producer on a show
Huh.
to, you know, explore that creative challenge of your actor being pregnant. And we tried to troop through it till the end. Like we were like going to put a chair for
Oh,
you. You were so
yeah,
dead set. You were like,
wild.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And
I was so excited. I had a really crazy, crazy illness. That
yeah,
I mean, normally people don't have such a crazy roller coaster of a pregnancy. Most people do have a roller coaster, but I mean, it's generally what you would expect. I
yeah.
mean,
Your
books
case was
what to
extreme. It
expect when
wasn't, yeah,
expecting.
totally.
Um, but mine wasn't the normal. I don't know, anything.
No,
So I think it took a lot for me to say no. That's the only project that I've said no to.
I'm
I
sure.
I mean, I think I remember when I was filming Mohawk Girls, I had pneumonia and I was coughing so much. This pre-COVID, I was coughing so much that I broke 3 of my own ribs. And then once I was done filming, it was so wild. The producers were like, "Are you okay to finish the day?" I was like, "Is this And I'm again like, I'll bend over back. Yes,
Of course,
yes, I can
actors
finish
will.
the day. So I finished the day, and then I went straight into the emergency, in Montreal. They brought me there, luckily, in their car, and I got to go and
Oh
get
my
sorted. You
gosh.
can't really do too much with like 3 broken ribs. So I mean, I feel like I've really actually pushed myself beyond, and that's just one of
Yeah,
many instances.
of
And I've
course.
been pregnant before as well, which is wild.
Yeah.
On a female led set, which again was a blessing. It was so much fun. There were other people that also had babies, so we kind of had like a little daycare on set.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's not easy. That's
No,
for sure.
for
There's
sure. And I
many.
mean, yeah. And I like It was so interesting to be on that end of it because A, I'm your friend. A, you make the cutest babies in the world. I would never want, your baby to be in danger. And also, as much as I love avocado toast and I take it seriously, like it is a low
That's
pressure
the thing.
situation, low
Yeah,
budget
that's
web
the thing.
series.
That's the thing is it's so crazy because projects happen so quickly and sometimes quicker than you would actually expect. And so when it happens, you expect that you're going to be able to be on your A game.
Yeah.
And then when you're not, it's such a bummer, I think.
Yeah.
I've never been in that situation before. Um, it's just wild. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
But the
Yeah.
silver lining was like Nilu Honda jumped in and played Rosie, and we were just
Amazing.
pinching ourselves that we got her. And then because we'd written you pregnant because it was meant for you, then we had to like stuff her with this fake belly and make her pregnant. And the belly was terrible.
Too good, but it's so good. So good. And honestly, I'm actually really happy that you still made the character pregnant because I don't know, you could have not and you could have made it a little easier on yourselves and
Yeah, it was an
I'm glad
homage
that
to
you
you.
didn't. It's it's especially for other females. I mean, it is really difficult to be able to even kind of do again an homage to any kind of pregnancy. So hey.
Yeah. And
Oh.
I just had this weird realization prepping for your interview where I was
Mm,
like, I just feel so strongly that about what Joey Soloway said. And I'm like, yes. Like, I think
mm,
and as an industry have such a responsibility to culture and such a power. And I'm going through, I'm sure you've seen on my social media, but I have endometriosis and I'm waiting for
mm.
surgery. And so I am currently infertile. There's like no way I could get pregnant. And that's been a weird thing to confront
Mhm.
after surgery. Like I have options if I want to explore them and everything. After surgery, I'll be in a better state to make a baby. But I was like, maybe my part of this, I'm a very mothering person and I believe there are so many ways to be a mother. But I was like, maybe my maternal energy needs to go towards our industry and like making it more conducive to women being pregnant and working.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a
Because
really amazing thing.
it would be so cool. I do not understand anyone treating any woman in a negative fashion for being pregnant. It's like, do you want the human race?
Oh, it's wild. You'd be surprised. I've been on some sets and I've been on some sets, and some are really great and some aren't. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard as well. I I don't know. It's a really hard thing, I think. Realizing that you're not able to procreate in the way that you would want to.
Mhm.
And I know some people in my life that are affected by that. And it's really, really hard, even for me to fathom, just as a person that's empathetic and that loves people,
Mhm.
um, because, I'm fortunate enough to have my own babies and for somebody like yourself, and friends of mine as well that are just unfortunate, and have different kinds of circumstances,
Mhm.
I really feel so much for you guys because it's a lot,
Yeah, it
and to be able
is.
to hear that you're able to like pay it forward is really something amazing because
Aw.
to kind of have empathy for people that don't have empathy in any other kind of field, let alone their workplace. It's
Yeah.
kind of really a big deal.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that hide it and they like for me, I really didn't want to put anybody in a weird place. And it really sucked when I had to say no.
Mhm.
Because even in my head, my first pregnancy, I thought I could totally do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Of
Um,
course. And we as actors, we never wanna
and
say, but when you have
you
to
don't
think
want to
about in someone
disappoint.
else's life, when then you
You
have to
never
think
want
about
to
your
disappoint.
baby's life, it changes it. Okay,
Yeah.
well, you're not only a mother, but you're a wonderful mother and your kids are so damn cute. Um, I would love to
No.
know about what's the education of Frederick Fitzel? I watched the trailer. Is it one of your latest projects, something that's coming out?
So it's my latest, it's my first film, like proper film
Mm.
that's out. Um, and it was really interesting because the script is absolutely beautiful. It's
Aw.
beautifully written. The director is also the writer of the script. Christopher McBride is a genius.
Mm.
His script was something that you could easily fall in love with for every single character, and there weren't really many characters. And it's just been released in Spain, and it's going to be released, I think, further in the year, but I don't really know the exact dates. COVID is kind of messing some stuff up for a lot of us.
Really?
Hey,
Really?
I'm eating meat on my couch in my own living room with no pants on.
Yes.
But I do have socks on. I'm not
Good.
you
You've
know.
got a part. You won't go below it.
Business on the top though, hey? Puma? Okay.
Puma, party on the bottom. Where did you shoot? Where did you shoot it?
Shot in Toronto.
Nice.
So I was filming, I don't know, where was I? In Winnipeg.
Mhm.
And then I came back to Toronto. And I was really excited to be in Toronto because I love Toronto. I was excited to like see people that I knew on the street. Like, you know, it's home. You always see people, you're like, hey, Mickey, hey, it's okay. I like it. Kind of a whore that way. And no joke, I was really excited. And then we just kind of shot in like the dingiest of all dingy circumstances. Like we were in the middle of a amazing haunted house kind of feeling. It was so many different windy paths that you didn't really know which way you were going, even when you were just going to the bathroom. Which really kind of set the tone for the film because the film was wild. I
Cool.
was a time traveling god, along with many other things that you'll see, I hope, in the film.
Sweet.
And it was really exciting. It was cool. I really got a chance to see the process of different directors because I've really only filmed with one major director my entire career, which was a lot of fun. But it was nice to kind of see a different way of thinking, I guess. And I don't know, just the way that somebody else kind of got a scene and was able to kind of
Mhm.
grasp it and talk to you about it was really exciting and cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will just say also, I am a big fan of Mohawk Girls. I know it's more of a vintage Mickey job, but it's on CBC Gem now, and I really,
BBC Gem.
truly enjoy it. I think it's a wonderful show. I think it's very funny. I think all the women in it are super charming. Yeah, it
It's so
makes me
wild
giggle.
because I can't believe that it's we were on Air Canada flight and it was on Air Canada. And my daughter, I was like, just for shits. It's
Aw.
just for kicks. I was like, do you want to see what mommy does? And I kind of show her sometimes because
Yeah.
mainly mommy doesn't really do that. I kind of do like different stuff for work, but like for fun, I do this. And so I was like, you want to see? And she literally looks at it for like 2 seconds and she's like, yeah, that's mommy. Can I watch Paw Patrol? So I can't really beat Sky or Marshall or
No.
any of those Paw Patrol guys at the moment.
You gotta
Uh,
act better, Mickey. You gotta bring it up a notch if you want to compete.
once my voice is a character, like I mean, where has Avery gone?
Do you guys watch Bluey? Have you ever seen Bluey?
Hey, you mentioned this Bluey.
You
No, what
need
is
to
it?
watch Bluey. It's Australian and it's so good. It's on Disney Plus, I think, maybe, or I don't know. I don't remember what
Done.
it's on. It is
Done.
honestly, it's Australian and it's just about a family of dogs, but real kids voice the little kids' voices, and they're so funny
Oh
and
my
weird.
gosh, so cute.
Yeah, it's a really good show, high quality.
Really.
I watched that right after I watched Mohawk Girls, and then I just slide on into bed.
I'm gonna quickly do a little line drop of Canadian content, which is what is it? What's that little kid's name? Dino Dana
Dino
and Dino
Dana.
Dan, both Canadian,
Okay,
about dinosaurs, clearly. Dino
okay,
Dan.
I will check that out.
Absolutely amazing. Really
Okay.
cool.
Good.
And
I mean,
then
I won't check it out. I'll wait till I'm with my nieces and nephews, and then I'll check it out with them.
for sure.
I don't watch kids shows by myself. I
Show
don't do
me
that.
what you're wearing. Are you
Oh
wearing
my gosh.
stuff already?
No. This is ha ha
Girl, you
ha.
are.
Cry, cry. Ha ha
Oh,
ha. Cry,
okay.
cry, cry. You need to watch the film. I'm being really serious. Cajillionaire by Miranda July. It is the cutest queer love story. It's like
Oh, yes.
post-apocalyptic. It's just perfect for COVID. It's so weird and funny and wonderful. And
Weird
Evan
time.
Rachel Wood is so good in it.
Oh, I love Evan Rachel Wood.
She's amazing in this.
She really is amazing.
I can't stop going on about this enough. Okay, I have like 3 dorky questions to ask you that I've been asking everyone, and then we will wrap it up. In this industry, we get credit for our successes. There's no, publicist for our failures. Do you have a failure that you look back at that you really learned from? Because I mean, I learn more from when I fail or from watching someone else fail than when everything goes perfectly.
So many. I have so many. It's really hard because it's also kind of like my saving grace in my own mind. It may
Yeah.
not be for other people. I think my biggest failure is trying really hard to conform into what the standards of beauty and what people think of how you are supposed to be as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why I do a lot of weird makeovers, and like I have a funkier style than most people in Toronto anyway, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Maybe not in other places of Canada, because there's some cool places.
Yeah.
But I don't, again, yeah, that's one of the things.
I love that. See,
Yeah.
it's funny because you don't until you ask people questions like that. Like I'm just always like, oh, Mickey has a rad style. But I like it more that I know that it's like you checking your own conform.
Like many times I'm like, do I not shave half my head? Do I not get another tattoo? Do I not pierce some parts? And
Yeah.
do I not, like most of the time, I mean, COVID has me on some crazy stuff, so I have no nails, but I mean, I love crazy nails and stuff, and I love crazy fashion. And I mean, a lot of times in the industry, you check yourself and you realize, like, is that marketable, or is that what is deemed in society as like okay?
Yeah. The funny thing is though too. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just not giving a shit. Like really, really having to like have a second thought about that, and not giving a shit is really important.
It's funny. It's funny too, from talking to everybody, I asked the question of like, what is the it factor? Do actors have an it factor? And do you notice it when you see it? But a lot of people have been like, sorry, burping. The it factor is when someone doesn't give a shit and when they're just really centered and them.
And like supernatural. Yeah. I forget who. I think it was Stella. Who's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Why can't I? Oh no.
I can always fall back on like English is my second language.
You know.
Marlon Brando, girl.
Yes. Marlon Brando. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
We'll cut that part out.
But yes, Marlon Brando. I think it was Marlon Brando anyway. He apparently had like any kind of lighting on set had to be already done previously, almost Christian Bale-esque, so that he nothing could interfere with his process.
Right. Because he
You know
was
what I
so
mean?
in the
And
role.
it's super natural. There were really not many cuts. It just went really fluid. The entire set was just perfect for him to walk into. So it wasn't
Right.
really thinking about other stuff. It was just really focusing on, you know,
Yeah.
what needs to be done. For him, it was a lot. He was amazing.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful too if the actor is so ready to rock. But it's
Yeah.
funny and it's so funny to be on the other side of things for avocado toast, where I'm like,
I bet.
just realizing, as much as I respect what everyone does, that
Yeah.
actors are like the cherry on top. Like there's so much work that
Yeah,
takes
there's a lot.
place before they get, I mean, if the actor bombs, the whole thing tanks. Definitely. The actor's very important. But like,
But if they're focused and if they're trained on many things apart from just the lines themselves,
yeah.
then hopefully the whole thing kind of has a nice big cherry on top.
Yeah. A nice ripe, sweet cherry
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful chat and a drink, and I've missed you. So this has been
Yeah.
fortuitous. Thank you so much. Multitasker champion.
Thank you so much for listening.
And thank you to Ontario Creates for the support to make Avocado Toast the Series podcast possible. You can pick your player to watch all 10 episodes of Avocado Toast the Series at www.avocadotoasttheseries.com.
We'd also love to give a huge shout out to Russell Lauder for the use of their beautiful song, Cost of Living. You can find more of their music sprinkled throughout the episodes of our web series, as well as on Spotify, Bandcamp, and iTunes. And links to their social media is